Welcome, and first thing I gotta say to you is thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for taking that leap and investing in yourself because not everyone does that. So many people say they want certain goals, they want to achieve certain things, but they never do it. You took that step. You're here. Welcome, bro. It's gonna be a great ass time. You're gonna hit your goals and feel amazing and know how to do this whole fitness thing and figure it out once and for all, which I'm so excited for you. So this is your warm welcome into the muscle metabolism community. So I'm going to run over a couple different things right now of what to expect, where to go from here, so that way everything is crystal clear. And first thing, I'm going to take care of you here. We in the community are going to take care of you, bro. Welcome. Like I said, it's a community, so everything here is connected. It's almost like a brotherhood, and I just love that. It's constantly growing, and super happy that you're a part of that. And that kind of goes on to my next point. Like, this is going to be unlike any other program, course, workout routine, anything like that you've ever bought before. Because this is a community. Like, yeah, that's a part of it. The coaching's a part of it. But, like, we're building something huge here. Like, having a place where men can just come together and connect and build friendships, build lifelong relationships with each other, and, like, grow together through fitness, through achieving better for ourselves. So it's so exciting. I can't wait for you to be a part of it. And then this is just the beginning too. Like, you are just starting your journey. I know you've probably done stuff before with fitness. You probably had some trials and obstacles yourself, right? Excuse me. But this is a long-term thing, dude. Like, you do everything in here, your life will literally be changed forever. I can promise you that, which is so exciting. So a couple things to go over. How everything is broken down. So it's community, coaching, and the library. So the community, first of all, we're all heading in the same destination together. Yeah, there's some little differences and things, but we're all trying to get as lean, jacked as possible, right? Not like bodybuilder size, maybe not, but we're all headed to the same place. We all have a similar goal in mind, and we're all here to hold each other accountable and just like celebrate the entire way, making it really cool. So in the community, this will be in the app, and I want you to engage in there like once a day. And it's really cool because, like, even if I don't say anything in there, people are still just going to be talking, which is cool. Like, so cool to see. Share wins, ask questions, support other people too. Like, how great would it be when you finally comment, you're like, yo, dude, I lost 20 pounds over the past few months. I feel really good. I look amazing. People like commenting under you like, dude, I've seen your journey. That's so inspiring. That's awesome, bro. Like, be that person for someone else in the meantime while you're achieving your goals. Share those small wins, and when you see other people winning, let them know they're doing good too, because it's all going to come back. It all comes back full circle. So that's really exciting, and that's the part of the community. And just know, like, we got your back the entire way. So that's the community. And second thing is the coaching. So there's going to be some modules that'll kind of like teach you everything. And if you're watching this, more than likely you haven't had your game plan call yet, which is completely normal. So what I want you to do is start to go through this first section of everything, get these couple first videos done, and then hop onto our game plan call. So that when we hop on, it's not like, super base level questions that I'm going to be answering in the next few videos. So pay attention to that, and then just dive into those videos after this one. And then, we got that one coaching call, one-on-one, bi-weekly, which will be fucking sick. And pretty much it's just some time. So we'll have like Q&A. I'll check in where you're at, like with your goals and stuff. Be like, okay, cool. Where are we at with this? How's this going? And then I'll give you some things to do, right? If I tell you some actions of like, okay, you weren't really liking this exercise. Let's switch it up and do this instead. And let's add a fourth day on instead of 3 days in the gym, right? Say that I tell you to do that. And if you come back next week, you're like, I didn't do that. Then I can't really help you, So I'm going to help you as much as I can and show up in every single way possible, but I expect you to execute and do the actions that I tell you when I tell you to. So that way you can get the best results possible. Cool? So that's the coaching. And then the next thing is the library. So all modules, you can either watch the video or read below it, whichever kind of like version of learning you like. For me, for example, like if it's been a long day and I'm tired and exhausted, I don't want to read. I just want to watch a video and just listen. And hopefully you are okay with the sound of my voice because you're going to be listening to it. But if not, you could totally just read too. because sometimes I'm in the mood for that too. So everything's in order. It'll unlock like as you go through, which is really cool. And then go through it chronologically. And that's another thing too, is like the value is not just in these videos. It's not like, okay, cool, I bought the videos, I'm good, I watched them all. No, it's like this is the base to give you the same understanding so that way we're all on the same level. But like the real value is in the coaching, the community, the coaching of like, okay, there's going to be problems and obstacles and things that show up. Okay, how do I specifically target this thing? And if it's not answered in a video, or if you can't figure out how to apply it to your situation specifically, that's where I come in to help. Or in the community where you're like, yo, dude, I don't really know what's going on. What did you guys do in this situation? And someone else would be like, oh yeah, no, I did this. Try this out. Just really cool. That's where the real value is. And then, yeah, another thing too is like, I'm not here to just give you information. I'm here to give you the right information for sure, because there's a lot of white noise and bullshit online, to be honest. But I'm here to like change your life, dude. Put these habits in place and let them stick with you for the rest of your life. Make it sustainable, make fitness easy, because I feel like everybody deserves to be healthy and have good fitness, and it's totally achievable for you. As long as you just follow the steps through here, it's a piece of cake. So yeah, so that's the library. All the tools, guides, and stuff will be like as you go on. It'll kind of teach you all that stuff. And the community, honestly, it's huge. Like it'll change the way you live sometimes if you really let it. So another thing I would say is go section by section in these video modules, and they're partitioned off, so you won't be able to go too far. But like, just try to stick to like one to two a day. It's not like binging Netflix, right? We're not just trying to rush through it all because you're not going to retain the information. Another thing too is like, have you ever watched a movie and you like it, and then you watch it again, you're like, oh, I didn't notice the XYZ was referring to this thing. Like what is that movie? The Sixth Sense. You know, where like he touches all the what was it? The red. Red is the color that simplifies something. I forget what it is. But you know what I mean? Like first watch, you don't catch that. Second watch, you catch it. Third watch, you catch even more. You're like, oh, I see. Same thing goes with these. Like there's a thing called like mental exhaustion, where like throughout your day, if it's later, if it's like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 p.m., you've had a long day, your brain's a little more fatigued. It doesn't retain new information as well. And this is more than likely a lot of new information. So if you watch one of these videos like later in the day, that's fine. You're kind of planting that seed. But I would recommend you go back and watch it another day when you're fresh, or maybe you're less stressed or whatever, and then you'll retain a little bit more of it, and you'll kind of be more aware and realize, oh, I didn't really notice that part. So it's really cool. So definitely give these another watch too, all the way through. Take notes on each module. If you have any questions, drop it in the community, send me a message, whatever it is. This is going to be as clear as possible. And then, okay, so how do you get the best results here? That's a big thing. So I've seen a lot of people come through. If you want to get the best results and you want to get to your goal as soon as possible, which I bet you do, we're going to get you there. A couple things let me tell you though. So I went over this a little before. Be coachable and use the tactics. Another thing is like lower the ego. Because I'm sure there's stuff you know. There's stuff you know that's right, but there's probably a good amount of things you know that are wrong. So just trust, like if I give you information and you're like, but that doesn't go with what I saw this person say on the internet. It's like, maybe that person doesn't know what he's talking about. Or maybe that works for him, but I know your situation specifically, and I feel like this other way would work better for you. You see what I mean? So be coachable, be open to new ideas, and test things too. Like when I tell you to do something, go try it out. Let's see how it goes. The quicker you test and take action, the sooner we can get back and be like, okay, that didn't work. Let's do this instead, or let's try this. You see what I mean? Second, yeah, use the resources. Use everything we got in here. Like there's so much value in here. You're in. You might as well use everything. Use the community. Share your wins. That's the exciting part. Show up to the weekly group calls. Like that's all a huge big part of it. So definitely make sure to utilize that. Yeah, that's another thing. Think long term. It's not just 12 weeks. We're building sustainable habits that are going to last years, decades past this point. So think about that. It's not just a race to these first 12 weeks and then, okay, yeah, I get lean, I get down to like 10% body fat, and then cool, and after that, I'm going to go back to eating how I used to before, which if you did everything correctly in here, you'll realize that's not going to work. And what's in here is actually easier than that. But you know what I mean? It's not like I just want to get to the shape in 12 weeks and after that, it's whatever. No, it's like, it's going to change your life for everything. Yeah, imagine the compounding effect after like 10 years of doing this stuff. Like you'll see when you're in here, you're like, oh, I could totally do this for years and years and years to come. And like over 10 years, like, dude, imagine what you're gonna achieve. Imagine what your physique is gonna look like. That's exciting. That's so exciting. So what I want you to do now is go into the community, introduce yourself. So you're going to drop a picture. Try to make it a picture that personifies who you are. A picture with some personality, not just a selfie or whatever. That works, I guess, if you have to. But find a picture that shows your personality, drop it in the community, and then talk about whatever previous lifting experience you have, like experience with a gym, anything like that. And then what is your next goal over the next 3 months, 6 months? What do you want to do? So picture of yourself that shows your personality, previous lifting experience, and your goal over the next 3 to 6 months. And then I'll see you in the next module. In this module, we're going to cover 3 things. What is a growth mindset? Why is a growth mindset important? And how can you build a growth mindset? So the definition of a growth mindset is a belief that the abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. Kind of sounds like a bunch of mishmash, but pretty much just means thinking long-term, thinking in advanced ways to actually progress yourself and grow as a person, as a man. So why a growth mindset is important is because it helps you overcome any problems, because you're going to have problems eventually. This is fitness. That's the reason you're here. That's the reason you pay for this coaching, is because you've had problems in the past that have prevented you from getting to your goals. So that's why this module is one of the first ones, because this is such an important thing to cover before we get to anything else. The diet, the workouts are not shit compared to your mindset. That's what matters the most at the end of the day, because that's what keeps you consistent and keeps you reliable, aside from me being here. So a growth mindset will help build your motivation. Now, having a fixed mindset is what a lot of guys do. It's sad, but it's holding them back in life. If you've achieved anything in life, you're aware of this whole phenomenon. So a fixed mindset is a belief that abilities and just life is the way it is, and the things that suck and the things that are bad are never going to change. They're always going to stay that way. Some people think about this consciously. Some people think about this subconsciously. You might hear this and say, I don't think about that much, but you might actually be negatively thinking that without you even realizing. So you have to kind of think deeper and say, what is your mindset? And then more effectively, how can you change it? So how to build a growth mindset, that ability, anything can be achieved. You can put in a certain amount of effort and get an outcome. You have to actually believe it from the bottom of your heart. So how to do that? You get out of your comfort zone. You do stuff like post in the community, train fucking hard in the gym, use the feedback, be coachable. When I tell you things, like actually apply them and don't slack. Like there's going to be times where you're going to fall off the wagon. That's okay. That's where you come back and say, hey dude, honestly, I fucked up. I ate 3 meals completely off my meal plan, and I just want you to give me some advice on how I can get back on track. That's what having a growth mindset and honestly being a man is like. That's what this whole thing is, because otherwise you're just not going to get results. And that's who suffers from that. That's only your downfall, and I don't want that for you. So fail forward. When you make mistakes, don't see that as a negative thing. See that as something meant for you to grow, because you learned something. Something got in the way of you progressing further, and it's going to keep happening again unless you learn from it. So be positive, and honestly, bro, like appreciate your efforts. You're watching this module, you're putting in the work, respect yourself for that. All right, this module is going to be the most tactical, probably one of the most important ones. So this is going over your check-ins, your workouts, your calories, tracking, everything on the technical side of how it's all going to work. So first things first, in the My PT Hub app, what we're going to be doing, I'm going to go specifically into your diet later, but for the first weeks 1 through 6, you're going to be on a meal plan. And underneath this module, you'll see the link to this questionnaire where you'll put in your name, any allergies you have. Don't do this. I'm just putting this in so I can get through this. You'll put in this stuff accurately. It is important you put in this stuff as accurate as possible. Don't lie about your weight. It's not going to help you at all. I need to be specific so I can actually make sure this works for you. And then you're going to select the categories that you want most for each meal. Select them, and then we can change your specific meals as you go on. If you really get sick of something, or I give you something, you're like, dude, I fucking hate watermelon smoothie. I don't know you have a watermelon smoothie, but you know what I mean? Like, we can change it. These are just general categories for me to get working with so I can make your meal plan. So you can have that for the first weeks 1 through 6. Now, I'll go more into this a little bit later, but how this will look in your My PT Hub, which should already be set up, is, okay, once it's here, I'll send it to you after you complete this questionnaire. You go to your meal plan, and then, so how you actually log your nutrition is you'll click this button that says Log Nutrition. You'd be surprised how many people don't know that. Select nutrition plan at the top. Once you do this once, it'll kind of click through. Check, done, next. Okay, so every single day for weeks 1 through 6, you're going to be on a meal plan. And the reason is I want to give you meals that like you can clearly, easily hit your calorie goal, hit your protein goal before we go into tracking everything. Because tracking everything can be pretty overwhelming at first. And it can be really hard to get your protein goal completely dialed in. So this is just taking the guesswork completely out of it. Now you don't get much of a choice, but there's a little leeway that I'll tell you in a little bit. But first, every single thing you eat off here, first of all, note the recipes are in the notes here. Check them out because I've had some people who don't understand and just eat these ingredients by themselves. Like, look at the notes because that is the recipe for whatever thing you have in here. They're very easy, very simple. Also, like on our calls, I'll talk about your lifestyle so I know what time of day you have more time to actually make things. This will all be revolving around that, but we can change this as you go. Most important thing, though, is you have a food scale to actually weigh this stuff. So, like 113 grams of cottage cheese. Do not eyeball that. That will honestly keep you or make you even fatter if you just guess the measurements. So, buy a food scale. I have one linked in this module. This one, it's awesome. $23, very inexpensive, perfectly fine. Now, eventually, well, here, let me go to one thing. So, say that you eat all your meals. You eat breakfast, delicious, amazing. Say for lunch, you go out. So you're not going to have this instead. What you can do is sort of start tracking already. You can do this for any meal, but one meal per day, you can substitute up to 600 calories. So say that I go out and get a hamburger. That would be horrible, but I wouldn't do this. Just say I got a hamburger at McDonald's. Write in whatever the food is and then write in the brand. Be specific about the name, brand, or company. The more specific, the better. Okay, let's just say that I had a hamburger. You can have anything up to 600 calories. So say that I had 2 of them. Awesome. I would click add. And say I had French fries, small. You normally add a McDonald's size or whatever. So then I add that. Okay, now they're in here. I can see at the top. Uh-oh. No, it's counting these unchecked boxes in the calories, but 500 plus 156. I would have gone over by 50 calories, which is not good. Don't do that. So don't go to McDonald's if you're going to have a substitute meal. But the point is, you eat all of your other meals, and you can substitute 1 per day. You can't substitute all 3 of them or 4 of them. I really want you to do this, and it's going to feel meticulous at first, but then you'll get in the flow of it. Things will start to get easier, and I'll cover this more in the actual diet module. Now, the most important thing, click save log. Otherwise, I'm not going to see shit. I'm not going to see none of this. I'm going to think you didn't track and just ate completely off and ruining your progress. So click save log. Make sure it saves because otherwise you're not counting. You'd be surprised how many people kind of miss that. If you don't do it, it won't count. So after week 6, you're going to just go into a more macros tracking kind of thing. So what you'll do then, only do this once you're actually there. See how it pulled up. So once you're past week 6 and you're onto the macros, what you'll do is you'll click log nutrition. It's not doing it for me. But you'll click log nutrition and then you'll have a calories limit. It'll say the amount of calories and the amount of protein you need. You're just simply going to be tracking the food itself. Again, specific name brands. I believe there's a barcode scanner as well that you can do. Yep, barcode scanner. So you can scan any barcode and it will pull the exact food up, which is very, very, very useful. So you'll be doing that after week 6. Track all food using grams or ounces or whatever measurement is in the app. Be consistent and be super accurate with your numbers because even if you're 100% accurate, super dialed in on this, there's still going to be some margin of error, and that 100, 200 calories might be the difference of why you're not losing weight. So it's very important you're consistent on that. When you're doing the macros only, I want you to hit 90% of your protein goal at least and be within plus or minus 100 calories every single day. If you do that, you're good. You're solid. This sounds detailed, but once you get into it, we'll talk about it on our calls as well. You'll get used to it in no time. Now, for the workout tracking, let me show you how this specifically looks. So go to, actually, you won't go to workouts. I want you to go to your hub, and you'll have a schedule of your actual workout too. See, today's schedule, I have my arm focused day. So you'll click this, click start workout. And then what I want you to do every single time you lift is update how many pounds you do for each set. So hammer curls, say I did 30-pound dumbbells, 30, 30. 10 reps, RPE, don't worry about that. But once you're done with these, another thing too. So once you're done with these sets, you'll click check. And then you can click the little timer button here, start. This is your rest time. This is very, very, very important that you wait this time, at least all of it. Don't rush in right away. A lot of people like to rush. Do not do that. So you're going to log all of your weights. And the cool thing is every week it'll save in here. So you can actually see how much you did the week previously and make sure you're going up in weight, which is really cool. Now, same thing as the food. For the love of God, click finish workout every time, every single time. Otherwise, it looks like you didn't do any workouts. And I'm going to be coming after you saying, why haven't you done any workouts in 2 weeks? So make sure you save them. Otherwise, you're not getting credit for them, honestly. Next part of this is check-ins. It's not Saturdays, so I don't have it on my end, but you'll have a button up at the kind of top here that will say check-in. It'll ask you a few questions about, first you'll take progress photos of front, side, and back, and then a few questions just about your progress this week. And I'll respond to you in circle regarding that, give you some feedback, probably ask some questions if something is, questionable. But aside from that, I'll just review that for you. And then most important thing throughout this entire process of like logging the food or on our calls or in your check-ins, don't BS me. Like, I'm not dumb. I've been doing this for years now. I can understand when someone's weight is not moving and they're saying, I'm eating all my meals perfectly. I'm going to the gym and working out hard. I'm doing all my cardio, but, it's not tracked in my PT hub. It's like, okay, something is off and you're only hurting yourself. I promise you, even if you think you're slick getting away with something, like, I can tell every time. And it doesn't even like bother me. It just bothers me more that you would, if this is you, which hopefully it's not going to be, you're ruining your own progress and wasting your time in the program. So be efficient with your time and don't bullshit me. If something happens, if a mistake comes up, if you fail on something, that's fine. Come to me about it and let's talk about it so we can fix it to make sure it doesn't happen again. Now, one other little part that I want to show you is this. So this is known as RPE, which stands for rate of perceived exertion. You're going to see this like you might have just seen on the training plan. And it'll say RPE 8, RPE 9. You're like, what the fuck does that mean? What is this? It's not some fancy bullshit. It actually means something. So RPE 1 through 5, you're probably never, ever going to see unless you're warming up. But what it means is pretty much 10 is you can't do another rep with good form. That's all it is. If it's RPE 1, that means you can do 9 reps until you can't have good form anymore. If you're at 10, then you did right until. If you were to do another rep, it would have been bad form, which you never want to really go past bad form. Sometimes there will be RPE 11, which means a special technique is used, like partials or holding the weight at the top after the last rep, things like that to get beyond failure. Most of the time you won't see that, but as you progress, you will. So get familiar with RPE. Ask me any questions you have about that because it can be kind of confusing at first. But this is all for the one-on-one clients. Now I want to address the non-one-on-one clients, everyone's who in the community. So a couple different things. MyFitnessPal is what you're going to use to track your nutrition. The free version is completely fine. And here, let me pull it up. Yeah, you don't need the premium version. Couple things I want you to do is go to more, go to nutrition, and then you're going to change your calories. Click over here. To whatever specifically we talk about your calories to be, you'll adjust that. Then I want to adjust your protein. It won't initially be like this, but adjust your protein to 40%, carbs to 30%, and 30% to fat. Be consistent with tracking because accuracy matters. Because you're in the community, I can't see what you're tracking. It's all on you. So you're fully in control of your own progress. Be consistent with this too. Now, also for you people in the community, you're going to be using, obviously not my PT app because you don't have access to that, this Google Sheet, which I've linked in the module down below. And what this means, what this is actually for, is this is going to be your workout plan. So there's a form video for each of these here, little tutorials. It shows you what muscle group you're hitting, what the exercise is. And then throughout the month, there's going to be different weeks where you can track how much weight you used. So this means week 1 and week 2, you're doing 3 sets of 10 and then resting 3 to 4 minutes. Then you're going to log your weight every single time. So say you do 95 pounds week 1. Next week you do 115. The reps are going to go down to 8 reps this week. So that's kind of a simple layout of how this works. It goes down vertically. So just a few exercises per week, per exercise, per workout. Then you input your weight every single week. That's as simple as it is. You're just doing that in MyFitnessPal, and I'll see you in the next module. So what is the muscle metabolism community, and why do I talk about it so much? Why do I think it's so important? Why do I feel like it is truly what you need to get to the next level? So I created this community inside of this program rather than just having like, okay, here's your meal plan, here's your workout plan, and good luck. Off to the races. I'll be here to help you a little bit. Community is one of the most important things because that's what we need as men is structure and guidance and support. Because honestly, like most men, I think there's a statistic that after the age of 30, most men have like 1 to 2, or they lose one to two friends per year, which is like, it's sad and it's the truth. It's a reality because we're such hard workers and such grinders that we kind of don't have time for that stuff. When women, on the other hand, are so focused on, having friendships and stuff. Not all men and women are the exact same, but you know what I mean? You get the point. So it's important to have community and, more importantly, other people to hold you accountable aside from myself, because even though I've been skinny fat before, and you know my story about how I was overweight and didn't know what to do when I was in your shoes, I want you to be in proximity to other guys who are doing the same thing as you, because that will all propel not only you further, but all of them further as well. Because think about it, you join, other people are going to be able to help you and give you advice. Say that you ask a question, or say, hey guys, give me some meals, or what do you guys think about this training plan? Or, oh, I did 40s this week on shoulder press. Can you guys look at my form, see how it is? Other people can come down and say, hey, this is awesome. Fix this. You'll be good. Those people are bringing you up. And then eventually, after you're in here for a month, 2, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, someone else will come in, and guess what? You'll help them. So imagine how great that is. So let me explain deeper what this kind of is. This group exists to keep you accountable and honestly just thrive. Because a lot of guys tell me, like, they're like, dude, I didn't even know I was missing this. Like, this community is something that I didn't even know that I needed until the program. And it's changed life. People have literally been friends outside of the community, which is crazy. That's awesome. Like, that's so cool. So on the hard days when it matters the most, other people can motivate you. Like, if you see some other dude is posting a gym pic in the gym flexing, and you're like, holy shit, dude, like I gotta get in there, bro. He's doing it and I'm not today. And guess what? Maybe tomorrow or that same day, you join in and post a gym selfie too. Even though, you're not the most confident in your body, that's fine. But you just show it to say, hey, y'all, look, I'm putting the work in. That's what's really respectable. So post your wins. A win is literally anything positive, anything good. I cover this so much because it's so important to express that gratitude and create that growth mindset. Anything could be like, yo, I didn't feel like waking up early and going to the gym, but guess what? I did. I didn't feel like making breakfast this morning. I felt like grabbing a Pop-Tart, but instead I made beef and eggs. Whatever. It could be anything as small as that, but just something like that seems small, but one, it gives you a big bonus and kind of rewards you, and with your dopamine makes you feel better about yourself because you did something good. It makes you actually realize it rather than take it for granted. Another thing too, if all these wins are coming in and you're having like a bad day, you're like, dude, everyone else is crushing it. I need to get on top, and almost see it like as like a friendly competitive leaderboard in a way. Like, dude, how can I win so much? And just kind of brag about it. It's okay to brag about it. That's the thing about being men. So learn from the guys who are ahead of you, and later you'll help those people who join after you do. So what I recommend is like the bare minimum is post 2+ wins or progress updates per week, just to keep the boys updated and see what you're doing. It's also very good for yourself. Any win, big or small. Say you lose 30 pounds. Bro, that's sick. Post your before and after. Like, one of my clients, Matt, posted there. He's like, dude, I lost over 120 pounds in the past year. Feeling really good. Sometimes I get down on myself, but it's been awesome. Like, things like that can bring everybody up. So that's a big one, but could be something small like I referenced earlier. Next thing, we will have weekly calls every Sunday. So we'll hop on. It's either going to go 2 ways. So some days it's just a Q&A where you guys just ask me questions and I answer them one by one, give specific advice. These are separate from, the bi-weekly one-on-one calls, obviously. And then some days I'll have a presentation or a certain topic to go over. If I see a lot of people like having a specific problem with something, like say, for example, going on vacation or not being able to handle stress, things like that. Like, if there's something specific like that comes up, I'm just going to make a presentation and talk about it so that way everyone can get the value from it. And then we'll go into Q&A after that. But those are every Sunday. Don't miss that. And then the most important thing that's in the Circle app connected to the community, you're probably where you're watching this right now, is the learning library. So all these video modules, watch them in order. It shouldn't let you watch them out of order, really, but you should have watched the other module already talking about how to progress in the levels of fitness on your dashboard. So from that, it's required to watch these to get to the next level and ultimately make progress. So don't skip around. Honestly, take notes on these modules, especially if it's something you've never heard before, because that will actually help you retain it more. And then the cool thing is you can go back and actually rewatch some of these modules once you have more experience. And then certain things will kind of tie back to you. You'll be like, oh, I know what Jake's talking about now. This didn't necessarily apply when I first started in month 1, but in month 6, this is really applying and I really needed this. So it's worth going back every once in a while. Ask questions in the community. That's literally what it's for. Chat with me, chat with anybody else. Don't stay silent because silent mouths don't get fed. If you ask more questions, honestly, those people do better in the program overall. So more questions you ask, more wins you post, you will succeed. Important thing is, after you watch each video module, including this one, click complete so you can go to the next one and track your progress. And then also in your dashboard, just make sure to check those boxes off so that way you can keep progressing. Bonus little thing. completely aside from everything else about building this community, a while ago, I launched the Muscle Metabolism clothing brand, and it's only officially for clients. As of right now, I might eventually make it public, but for the time being, it's just for clients. If I do eventually release it by the time this is out, like in public, I'm giving you guys a special discount code, so you can use code JAKE10 for 10% off. I'll leave that in the bottom of this module if you want to check that out. Got a lot of clothing designs, and it'd be cool to rep the brand, some pretty cool gym merch. All right, this is how to use your dashboard. So you're gonna have your name here, you're gonna have your face here. First thing I want you to do is upload a photo clearly of your face right here. Upload a photo. Your name will already be here. Next thing I want you to do is write down your objective in the right over here. So whatever it is, it can be just one line, one sentence. I want to lose 15 pounds, get to 10% body fat, and have abs. That's it. That's all you need to do. And then all of our recordings that we're going to have when you level up are going to be here for you to watch again later, because they're going to be very useful. Now, how this level system works is you come here, and ultimately this is how it guarantees you success. As long as you go through every single one of these levels, I can guarantee you'll have an amazing result. So they get progressively harder. Level 1 is just watching this video. You've already done that. Upload your profile photo. Join the community. Buy a food scale. Simple stuff like that. And majority of pretty much all of these are going to require you to watch the modules in circle, which either you're watching this there or not. But every single level has a certain amount of modules that go with it, and I'll cover that in a different video. But how this level system works is I pretty much mapped out the progression after working with people for so long, trying to figure out what are the bare bones minimum, what things are required in order to make actual progress. So first, we're setting the frame of mind, getting your mindset right. 2, we're establishing the base, making sure your habits are solid before we go further. And then 3, get the diet dialed in, make sure you know exactly what to do regarding the diet. And then we're going to direct the workouts to be a lot more efficient to specifically what you need and find your weak points and things like that. And then we're going to secure consistency and overcome obstacles. So that's more taking a reflection look at your lifestyle, seeing what's going on, see what we can improve, just make sure there's no mistakes or any kind of cracks or any holes in the system. And then the peak phase is where you're going to get to 10% body fat, be probably the most shredded you've ever been in your entire life, have the most muscle. It's a really fun time. This is where you take all the photos and stuff. And then we're going to go into what I call the jacked plan, which you'll see later, but it's pretty much just consistently putting on muscle, staying lean, having mini bulks in a way, but you're not quite there yet, and that's perfectly okay. But this is how to level up. And another thing to note, once you're done with each level, you will click this link and book your one-on-one progress call. So on this call, we'll talk about what you learned in this lesson, what you took away, and then I'll prepare you for the next one. Now, the only thing on you is just to get this stuff done. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and I can guarantee you if you're making your progress and making your way through this, that's how you get the best results. But if you half-ass this, I can't guarantee you're going to get any great results because these are the inputs that are required. All right, this is how to set up your calendar, and this is going to be one of the most important modules for you. This could quite literally change the trajectory of your life and your productivity. I'm not even joking when I say that. So this is my calendar to show you what it actually looks like. I use this every single day, no lie. My sleep, I have a bit of a crazy schedule. I go to bed at 7:30, wake up at 3:30 a.m. My morning routine, plus my morning stories and content. I'm either training in-person clients or going to the gym. Have all this in here, and it's nice because this is actually automated every single week, but I like it because it sends me a notification on my phone what time I have to do certain things, which is very nice. So first things first, when you set this up, you can do it on your computer. I recommend you actually do it on a laptop, like a desktop. You can do it on your phone if you want. It's just going to be a little bit harder to set up, but I don't want you to get the app on your phone because that way we can actually send you notifications. So this is all great, but I'm going to demonstrate how I actually started from scratch because I know it can seem a little overwhelming at first, but it's really not too hard. This is my secondary account, my personal account. So what we do, we would click new event. First off, let's start with sleep because that's the easiest one. And we want this to be consistent every single day in a perfect world, unless your schedule is different or whatever. So let's say that you go to bed at 10 p.m. every night, like a normal person. And you wake up at 5:30 a.m. That's good. That's 7.5 hours of sleep. So all this stuff really doesn't matter. Click this though, and then you're busy because you're asleep. You can't schedule anything else. The only difference between busy and free is if it's busy, it won't let you stack other events on top of it. So you want to be busy when you're actually busy. Whatever color you want. I used to not really care about the colors, but then I actually started to get a system for it. Let's say you do purple. So for sleep, this one's going to be a little bit different. But you can choose when it's going to send you a notification. So I want to do 10 minutes before. I want you to do 30 minutes before as well. So in 30 minutes, okay, I have to be in bed in 30 minutes. Or you can see, okay, now I got 10 minutes left. Let me finish up what I'm doing. And then what's also going to be important is this right here. We're going to click this. We're going to click daily. So it'll repeat every single day. Save. Look at that. Every single day. Sleep is now in there. Okay. Now, what's the next easiest thing to plan? Let's say work. All right. Let's say you work at, let's do 9 a.m. 9 a.m. to 5:30. And what we'll do is we'll click this. Let's put free, because I want you to put events in work too, because this doesn't just go for your fitness. You can plan your literal life through this as well, and that's exactly what I do. You can kind of see. So I have this be free so that we can put stuff in it. Like, okay, I got to attend this meeting, or I got to work on this project at this time. Let's make the color. I like this color. Let's click when we want it to repeat. Let's say you have a kind of a funky schedule. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you work 9 to 5:30. Repeat every week, ends never, done. And then let's do 30 minutes before so that we know, okay, 30 minutes, I got to start my drive to work. Click save, fills in. Now say on Thursday, Friday, let's do work again. And then we'll place this on Thursday. Let's say on these days you come in at 10, let's say 10 a.m. 10 a.m. and then you work until 6:30. A little bit different. So we would do repeats every Thursday and Friday. Done. We'll also select free and 30 minutes before, and then we'll click save. See how it automatically fills in, and when I go to the weeks after this, the sleep and everything we put in stays the same. Now, importantly, the whole reason I kind of want to show you this is you're going to put in your gym. So gym, what time do we want to go to the gym? Let's say on Tuesday, which is technically tomorrow. Say that we want to go after work on these days and then before work on these days because we have extra time. So let's say from 6:30 p.m. gives you time to eat, drive to the gym, relax, and then just put 1.5 hours to have time to kind of more time rather than less, right? And let's repeat this let's do Monday, Tuesday for this specific day, right? This specific time. And then we'll keep this busy because when you're in the gym, you're focused. You don't want to schedule anything else above that. Let's do this color. And then let's do 30 minutes before. Save. Nice. So that is now on Mondays and Tuesdays. And then let's say on Friday, Saturday, we go early. So Friday, we work at 10. So let's say 8 a.m. to 9:30. That's calling it a little close. Let's do 7 a.m. Yep, 7 a.m. to 8:30. We'll make this match. Have this be green, busy, 30 minutes before. And we want this to repeat every Friday, Saturday. So that's simple. That's your 4 days out of the week you're going to the gym. So these 2 days is here. These days is here. Nice thing about this is if your Google account you're using is your work account, if you have a meeting scheduled through Zoom or Google Meet or anything like that, it'll automatically show up on your calendar. Like on mine, for example. Let me show you. Where is it? Oh, I cleared it already. But the call thing that I use, it automatically just throws it on there, which is really nice. So let me just show you an example. Let's say we have a conference meeting on Zoom. Say that it doesn't automatically put in, say you have that every Monday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And we're busy because you're in that. Make it whatever color you want. And then say this repeats weekly on Monday. Save. So you see what I mean? So now you can obviously get as in-depth as you want with this, or you can have it as simple as bare bones as this. But I want you to have your sleep. I want you to have your work schedules and have your gym time on there as well. And you can add whatever else you want on top of here. I hate that color. That looks so bad on top of the blue. Let's do that. Nice. Looks a little bit better. You could have it as simple as bare bones as this. So when you have the app on your phone, it will send you a notification like, okay, hey, we got the gym coming up in 30 minutes, or we got work coming up in here. You can put your break on here. You can put your meals on here. You can get as specific as you want, as specific as you actually need For different people, that varies. Like for me, I have, okay, calls. I can schedule things on top of this. Training my in-person clients, got that stuff here. I get as specific as like, okay, eat pre-workout meal at this time. So that way I know it can be digested 30 minutes before my training so that I can actually use it. I know what I'm doing in my day mentally. Like, okay, it's late. I'm staying up a little bit later than usual. But deep work. I'm building out systems right now, recording these videos for you. In the morning, I'm posting my stuff, training my clients. See what I mean? So just make this work for you as much as you need. But I do want you to set this up. This is a requirement. Outwitting the Devil is one of the best books I've ever read. It's literally changed my life, and I want you to read it for that exact reason. It is actually required. I know you're thinking, Jake, I don't want to read a book for a fitness program. Are you kidding me? But it's actually bigger than this. It's actually about building your lifestyle and building your mindset, which we've covered before, and you know now is so extremely important. So the main idea, if you haven't already read this book or heard about it, is the devil, in more of a metaphorical sense rather than a biblical sense, is overtaking you by what is called drifting. So slipping away, think about scrolling on your phone, having lustful thoughts, wanting to eat a bunch of junk food. All those things are considered drifting, and they're taking you away from your true purpose in life, even outside of fitness, just like lifestyle in general. So you have to learn how to actually correct that and also recognize when it's happening. It's more than just saying it. Most people fail from lack of purpose, not from like their own workouts or the diet plan is bad. Like most people fail because they don't have the consistency, right? And in the book, it's like not really non-fictional, not super fictional. It's kind of in the middle, but it says the devil controls 95% of people, which I think is true. Honestly, in the real world, that kind of makes sense. At least most of the thoughts. So key points from this book. If you're drifting, you're going to have, your goals are going to be like put all over the place. You're not going to have any action that you're actually going to take. The devil consists of fear, doubt, and excuses. And this book teaches you how to actually have discipline, knowing your purpose and sticking to it. Because even myself, like I consider myself a very goal-oriented person, and I thought I'd be always on top of things, but there's honestly times, as you know, it's the human nature to fall out of track. And reading this book was one of the first like mindset, self-improvement books I ever read, and it was extremely powerful and actually changed my life. And actually, like for some of the first time in my life, actually like heard God speaking to me, which was crazy. Because I felt it a little bit before, years ago, but I wasn't very connected with God. This book kind of brought me back into it, even though it's less biblical and factual and more just kind of theory. It's by Napoleon Hill. It's a very old book, but it's honestly a game changer in actually learning how to control your mind. I'm not going to recommend you another book unless you want me to, but this is like an essential. I put it in here for a reason. I really, really, really need you to read it. So 3 different ways I'll have linked in the module below for you to actually read this. Best way I read it is the audiobook on Audible. It's like $16, or you can get the Audible subscription thing and whatever. It's easy to listen to in the car. I've even listened to it when working out. Just having it on the background, you can pause, go to different chapters, all that stuff, as you know. The hardcover book on Amazon, I have it because I've read this book 3 times now. It's great. I like late night reading too, which I talk about in one of the other modules that you'll see eventually, is putting your phone away and having a real book, reading real pages before bed is one of the best things you can do in the world for your brain. So you can also do that, or you can do the audiobook and that. The third, which is the cheapest free option, is listening to it on YouTube. There's a full audiobook on there. The only problem is YouTube is kind of weird with like remembering where you left off specifically. And it's a YouTube video, so unless you have premium, you can't lock your phone. So it's kind of annoying. Just invest in yourself. Take the leap. Trust me, bro. Like, you trust me through all this stuff. You've got as many results as you have already. We're only going to get more results. This book, I'm telling you to read this for a reason. So give it a read, and then let me know what you think once you finish it. Do me and yourself a huge favor, and just forget everything you ever known about dieting. Everything you ever known about keto, carnivore, low calorie, cardio, all this stuff. Throw that out the window, because I'm going to rewire your brain to what actually matters and what you're actually going to do in the next 3 to 6 months. So first thing, which is most important to understand, is macros. A lot of people talk about it. It's not like a diet. People say macros is a diet. That's not. It's just a simple fact of nature. It's like saying numbers is a theory. Numbers are a real fucking thing. You know what I mean? So macros, what your food is made of. There's protein, carbs, and fats. Protein builds muscle. Think chicken, fish, eggs, protein powder. Carbs are your energy source. So rice, oats, fruit, veggies are some really good examples. Fats are actually important. A lot of people avoid fats, and you can because they are high in calorie, but they regulate your hormones and just keep your overall health good. So very important for testosterone production and just hormone balance. Avocado, nuts, olive oil, just be careful not to consume too much of that because, like I said, they are high in calorie. Now, in general, looking at the huge globe consensus of things, what you're going to eat are high protein, low calorie foods. 3 to 5 small to medium-sized meals per day, depending on your preferences and your schedule. but we want to have smaller meals a day to stay consistently full, consistently flat. You can have a smaller meal for breakfast, medium size meal for lunch, and then larger one for dinner. That's fine too. But the point is we're just kind of regulating your eating, because a lot of people, what the mistake they do is they'll eat once a day and be like, why am I gaining so much body fat? I eat once or twice a day and I just kind of like snack on whatever. And it's like there's so many hidden calories in there because you're starving your body and wanting to snack and have candies and all this stuff in between, or that meal is so big or calorie dense in itself. So it's a lot of mistakes. That's why we're going to eat multiple times per day. It's going to be challenging at first, but it will pay off. Next thing with this, especially in the first 6 weeks, you're going to be on a meal plan. So it's super easy to batch cook 3 to 5 meals per week to actually save time and just have them ready to go, especially when you go to work, especially after the gym, your post-workout meal, which we'll cover in a second. It's very important to prep those things, just have them ready so that way you don't have to think about it. And also, if you come home from work and you're tired and exhausted, are you really going to have the energy to go make a meal for 10, 15 minutes? Probably not. It's a lot easier to grab the stuff in the pantry. So don't rely on discipline alone. Prevent all that from happening by actually just prepping your meals, having them ready to go. So in every single meal, you're going to have about 6 ounces of protein as a good rule of thumb, or some eggs or a protein shake. Just 30 grams of protein per meal is a good rule of thumb. Before your workout, I need you to eat. You need to eat before your workout, 30 to 60 minutes before, so that way it can actually digest and process. Do not eat and then directly work out. You might get sick. Don't work out first thing in the morning fasted, because if you're training hard, you might throw up and also have problems. You do not want that. You won't be able to perform at the level that you should be, because we're going to be training pretty hard. Before your workout, make sure you have carbs for energy, even if it's just a little bit. That's going to give you energy for your workout instead of relying on nothing or taking the energy from your protein. If you take energy, you can take energy from protein, carbs, or fats. If you're not having any carbs in your first meal, your energy in your workout is going to come from either your fats or your protein. And your protein, we want to build muscle with. We don't want to use it for energy. So have carbs before your workout and after your workout. Once you're done, within the next hour, have another meal, because your workout should have been long enough. So a little bit of carbs, another serving of protein as well. Prep this ahead, because I guarantee it's, unless you have like an off day, you have so much free time, you lift and then come home and then make your meal. That works, but I almost recommend almost all the time to prep that meal. It works so much easier. It could be literally like 2 rice cakes and a protein shake, which is very easy. Now, bigger picture again, how does fat loss work? How do you actually lose body fat? So you have a maintenance level of calories every single day. If I eat 2,500 calories every day, I'm going to stay at 185 pounds no matter what. I'm going to, keep building muscle, but that's my maintenance. If I eat less than that, like 2,400 calories, 2,300 calories, I'm going to slowly lose body fat, which is what we're going to be doing. If I eat above that, if I have 2,600 calories, 2,700 calories every single day, I'm going to slowly start to put on body fat. So obviously you don't want to do that. If you ever gained fat before, scales gone up and down, that's more than likely what it's from. There's water weight that kind of fluctuates a little bit, but that's pretty much what gaining fat is from. Now, something I mentioned a little bit earlier, first 6 weeks of the program, you're going to be doing a meal plan. So why I'm doing this is so that you can actually have some structure and guidance on what to actually eat before I throw you to the wolves and kind of say, okay, you're on your own, hit your protein goal and hit your calorie goal. You're not completely on your own. I'll still help you, you know what I mean? But the meal plan is going to be a lot more strict, a lot more rigid to actually give you like, okay, here are some example meals that are going to keep you full, give you all the micronutrients you need, and hit all your macronutrients as well, so you don't have to think about it at all. Saves time, saves a little bit of money too. And then week 6 onward, we're going to have a macros approach, which you'll be given a certain level of calories. So say for me, I would give myself like 2,200 calories every day to eat, and I have to hit at least 150 grams of protein per day. So I have to eat 150 grams of protein or 140 to hit like 90% of that, because that's what you want as well. And you'll be tracking that in my PT Hub, which I covered in an earlier module. You can go back and watch that if you're not familiar. Macros approach is really good for a busy lifestyle, substituting things. In the meal plan in weeks 1 through 6, you're not just tied to these. You don't have to take Tupperware with you whenever you go out to a family event or whatever. You can change one of the meals up to 600 calories. So say you go to In-N-Out and get a burger and fries. Not that you really should. You get a double lettuce wrap burger. How about that? You can substitute that as long as that meal is under 600 calories. You're still going to track it like I talked about in the module before. But with the macros approach, you'll still need to hit protein and calories on your own. I'll help you with that and review it with you, but it's important you track everything so that way we can see that. So the tools you'll need, food scale and containers to prep. Very important. Have your own containers. Make sure they're good. I bought cheap plastic ones and made the mistake. Like dishwashing them and then they break or they start to smell really funny because you can't clean them very well. I invested in glass Tupperware like 2 years ago, and they're doing incredible to this day. I use them all the time. Invest in nice ones. Promise you it's worth it. Next part is your go-to grocery list. This is important. This is something you need to do to get to the next level. So weeks 1 through 6, you'll have a grocery list in my PT Hub. You'll go to nutrition, and it'll say grocery list up the top. You'll click that. It'll give you exactly how much you need for one day. It's worth of food. And you can go to the store and obviously, 7x that, 5x that, or whatever to make sure you're getting enough food. After that, in the dashboard, there's a little separate page that'll open up in your levels, and it will be your go-to grocery list. There's lots of snacks on there. There's sauces, all this kind of fun stuff that's going to be really good and the best stuff, in my opinion, that'll help you actually stick to your diet, like diet soda, stuff like that too. All Amazon links are in there. Protein powder, everything you can imagine. So what I want you to do, especially when you go into your macros approach, is build that. You can clear some of those things out from there if you really hate them, but I want you to try a lot of things in the first few weeks of having your macros approach. Try the protein bars, try the rice cake chips, try the G. Hughes sauces, all that stuff, and then keep what you want. And then when you go to your macros approach, you can even bring your grocery list from your meal plan. If you love your meal plan so much, you can eat just your meal plan and put that in your grocery list. But every time you go to the store, you have that list in the Notion dashboard for you to check off every single time. A lot of guys think that going out or going on vacations is going to completely fuck up their progress. It's not the truth. You can actually do it. It's one of the most important parts to actually staying consistent on your goals, because let's face it, life is always going to get in the way no matter what. So as much as you try to force the square into the circle, the hole, life's going to always get in the way. You're going to need to go out. You're going to need to go to social events. You're going to need to go to a party. You're going to need to go be in an occasion where you're going to be drinking, having some cocktails, having some drinks or whatever. It's a normal part of life. And if you can adapt to it, your body will in the negative way. So you have to learn how to control it and know what to do in these scenarios, because that's where most men fail. It's pretty easy if you're just at home, you have your meals made for you, or you have your groceries and your meal plan simply right there. You go to the gym because it's convenient. But once life gets hard, once you have to work overtime, once you have to go out to social events, once it becomes the holidays, that's when it gets hard. This module is going to teach you exactly how to handle your lifestyle during that time to stay on track, and anything, do way better than you would do normally. So you don't want to be that guy who's on a diet ever. Like, you don't want to look like, you want to look like you're locked in, you're doing something good for yourself, but you don't want to look like, oh, dude, that guy, he's on a diet. Oh, Jake's on a diet. You can just tell. Oh, he's getting a salad. You know what I mean? You don't want to be that guy. You kind of want to blend in, but just make the smarter choices. And I'm going to tell you to do that. So let's take the first scenario of going out to a restaurant or a party or a nightclub or whatever. Before you go, do 2 things. Check the menu online ahead of time if you know where you're going. If not, ask where you're going. This is very, very important, because more than likely you're going to be hungry. You're going to get there, not know what to get. Everyone's already ordered and they're all looking at you and you're like, I'll get the ravioli with chicken. And it's like, oh, fuck, that's like 2,000 calories. You know what I mean? So make the decision beforehand, just on the drive or when you're at home before you leave, whatever. Second thing, eat a small protein snack. I do like a protein bar, or it could just be like if you have some prepped chicken. It sounds weird, but just, do you want it? As long as it's cooked, I mean. But something like that will just, you'll still be hungry for the meal, but not too hungry to where you're like going to be tempted like, oh, I really don't want to eat an egg white scramble at this breakfast place. Okay, I'm just going to order the French toast. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Hunger is a mental thing more than anything else. So having that little snack will keep you full. Get some more protein in as well, which you might not get all your protein needs from that meal most of the time. So that's going to help a lot. When you're at the restaurant, pick the high protein meals always. Things with the most meat. Meat is the best thing. And like when it's prepped for you in a meal at a restaurant, that's the best thing possible. Choose lean meats, preferably chicken, turkey. And most places don't have turkey. What am I talking about? Beef if it's the best option. Veggies instead of French fries. Substituting things like at Chick-fil-A, instead of getting the waffle fries, get fruit cup. Things like that. Small substitutions for lower calories are always going to be smarter. Skip on the fried stuff as best you can. Let's use Chick-fil-A as an example. Instead of getting the crispy chicken deluxe sandwich. Sounds amazing, right? It's delicious. You can do that, but you're going to have less calories available. So instead, get the grilled chicken club sandwich. So that way you're getting everything else from before with the grilled chicken. Put some sauce in that bitch. It'll taste really good. Another thing regarding sauces, get all your sauces on the side, especially in salads. Oh my gosh, you would have no idea how much sauces add up. So like if you're having pasta, get the sauce on the side. If you're eating salad, get the dressing on the side. You'll see how much they actually put on it, and you can be in control because that stuff is super high in calories. Most of the time, it's not actually the food itself that's super high. It's all the sauces and the oils and the butters and all that. So get that stuff on the side. That'll save you a lot. Drink water or diet soda. This should not even be a question. Do not drink full sugar soda. If you really, really, really love full sugar soda, and I have a client support where they hate diet soda, find something else that you like that's low calorie or high protein to drink, but whatever. Or just have one per day. That's it. Just one. That's a lot of calories already that I would rather have you eat, but that's your decision. Eat slowly, drink water between. You know this stuff, but actually do it. Like drink water in between, eat slowly, stop when you're full. If anything, talk more if you're at a social event, because if you talk more, you're not going to be able to eat. Everyone else is going to be eating, making their time go as you're sitting there, realizing you're getting full, and you can actually call it. Next thing is take leftovers to go. It's 2 meals in one. That's awesome. Plus, it's less calories instead of trying to force yourself to eat it all. Like I grew up as the kind of kid where like I was told, okay, you got to eat everything on your plate in order to have dessert, in order to leave the dinner table. You know what I mean? So I know what it means like to want to finish your food. It's like a thing. Do your best not to. Know when you're full, when you're satisfied, not full. Know when you're satisfied, and then pack up the rest. It's completely normal to do that. Social events and parties. This is the interesting thing. You don't want to kill the vibe. You don't want to be like, oh, do you have anything that's low calorie? Like, they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's for you to make. That's your own decision. Everyone else wants to say fat. You're going to be the person that's shredded in a year from now, 6 months from now, 3 months from now, whatever. Don't wreck your goals. It's not worth it just to look cool or fit in. So eat protein first is the biggest thing. Like I said, again, choosing the meats. A good rule of thumb for like Thanksgiving, parties, whatever, is half of your plate should be like veggies or fruit, like the super low calorie stuff that'll keep you full, like carrots, celery sticks, fruit, pineapple, raspberries, whatever they have at like a social event. And then quarter of it protein, quarter of your plate. So meat, whatever. It's usually covered in a lot of sauces or high calories. So that's why it's only a quarter. And then quarter of fun food, whatever you want. Dessert, ice cream, pastries, whatever. Enjoy yourself too. You're not there to just completely go crazy. But you are tracking this all in your calories as normal. Doesn't mean you don't track it. Just because you're going to a restaurant or just because you're going out doesn't mean you can't track your calories. You easily can. If you can't find the exact brand, search up the best closest thing. And obviously, you're not going to bring a food scale with you. So in that case, you would have to eyeball it. But you should be using your food scale all the time so you'll have a good perception of how many grams or ounces everything weighs so that you can go and track it. Or a good thing I like to do is when I'm out, I take a photo of my plate real quick, track it later that night or the next day. But don't forget to track it. That's one of the most important things. And you won't make progress if you don't track it because you'll be like, I just went to 4 social events this week, and besides that, I ate all my meals, but I gained 2 pounds. I'm not sure why. You know why if you look at the fucking proof. You're not tracking your stuff. Save your calories during the day as well. Kind of budget for nighttime. Just don't have any crazy big meals. You'll be tracking your calories, so you can see this. If you save most of it for the afternoon or whenever your party is, that's fine. Whenever you go out. If you have small dessert, that's fine too. Just eat it slow. Actually enjoy it for what it is rather than scarfing it down. When drinking alcohol, going out, choose the low-calorie drinks because this is where a lot of guys get in the danger zone, especially with beer and cocktails and sugary drinks and all that stuff. So choose low-calorie drinks like diet mixers, light beer especially is good. This sounds crazy, but just like pure alcohol, like shots, are actually pretty low-calorie. Tequila, vodka, rum, whatever, like they're very, very low-calorie. So if that's your vibe, if you're over the age of 30, that's probably not your vibe unless you're a crazy party animal, but it is what it is. Diet Coke and Jack, like choose those low calorie diet sort of mixers and stuff. And another really good rule of thumb, just in general, outside of staying fit, for every drink you have 2 to 3 glasses of water with it as well. Always ask for water on the side, always, because you're going to be more dehydrated, which is going to make you either want to eat more or drink more alcohol, which means spending more money, ruining your liver more, whatever. But for one drink, have 2 to 3 glasses of water. That's a very good rule of thumb as well. You can still enjoy going out. This seems like a lot at first. Adapt this stuff. Go out. Try this a few times. It will be in your dashboard to actually go out and use this new method. Once you use it like 3 to 5 times, come back and watch this video again and see, okay, how did I do? Almost like you're reviewing your gameplay, like playing it back in your mind, how everything went, how your calories were. Did you go completely over? Was it completely good? What could you improve on? Watch this video again and say, okay, what can I improve on next time I go out? Because it's bound to happen again. Now, this is why we call this entire process the muscle metabolism system, is because we are going to be increasing your muscle mass, which is boosting your metabolism. Now, you might have no idea what I'm talking about, but like, Jake, how does that work? Like, I've never heard of that. What is this? Is this some theory or what? It's actual science. And muscle burns calories all day. So just at rest, keeping muscle mass on your body will burn a set level of calories. So our goal is to, one, obviously lower your calories, put you in a calorie deficit with food, but two, we're increasing your muscle mass. So those two are working together in tandem to just like dramatically drop your body fat. Plus, muscle looks better too. So when you get lean, you're not just a pile of sticking bones. You know what I mean? So more muscle means a faster metabolism. And lifting helps you burn fat long after your workout ends. So I've had like clients ask me before, like, oh, is cardio or like weightlifting better for burning fat? I'm like, well, technically, if you're looking short term, like a month or two, if you do cardio every day or 5 days a week, yeah, that's going to burn more calories per day on like a daily level. But in the long run, adding more muscle mass to your frame is going to burn more calories just because once you have it, it's going to burn a set level of calories even more than just doing cardio. So you're still going to do cardio too, but you see what I mean? That's how it's going to increase your metabolism. So now what we're going to do in this whole new level is fix your weak points. So your base is built. You know how to work out. Your form is solid. We've done all the basics. Now we're going to target your specific weak areas. So what do I mean by weak areas? I want you to ask yourself, like, when you do your check-ins, when you look at yourself in the mirror, what do you want to look better visually? Like, ask yourself, what do I want to look better? And like, do I want to fix my arms? Or like my chest a little bit bigger? Are my legs kind of weak? What specifically do you want to bring up just visually? And then look at the numbers of your weights you're doing in the gym and just think about the strength you have in each, body part, like all the biceps, triceps, back. What muscle do you feel like is the weakest from a strength perspective? And it might be the same thing. It might be, oh, I barely have any lats. My back is pretty small and my back is also the weakest. That's very natural to happen if it's underdeveloped, which we want to work out. So spot that weak point. Another thing to look at is one side stronger than the other? When you're doing a dumbbell bench press, does one side go up faster than the other? Or when you're doing dips, does one side kind of raise higher than the other? Look for that. That's another thing we work on as well. If one side of the muscle looks smaller, like honestly, my right tricep is a little bit smaller than my left tricep. Why? I don't know, but I'm working on it. So things like that. Be aware of it. Look at yourself. Get a little critical because then we can fix things. If you're like, oh, I look good, then like that's fine, but we need to bring something up because there's always, I don't want to say there's always a weak point, but there's always something that can be improved. You know what I mean? If you just want bigger arms, bigger shoulders, you're like, I like my physique now, but it would be cool to have bigger shoulders. That's perfectly valid. We can totally do that too. It's up to you, whatever you want to bring up. I'll give my 2 cents on what I think you need more of as well, just for like a symmetry, like perspective of just aesthetics overall. But it's mostly your choice as well. So your job now is pick 1 to 2 areas that you want to bring up. Talk to me about it on our next call, or just message me, leave it in the community. Say, hey, I'm gonna be working on bringing up my shoulders, my traps in the next 3 weeks because I'm lacking in them, and I'm really excited to bring them up. Here's how they look now. I'll update you guys in a few weeks when they're more grown. You know what I mean? So we're gonna focus your training around that, kind of redo your workout program to be directed efficiently towards these weak points. All right, what supplements do you need and what supplements are utter crap? So a lot of people stress over what supplements they need to buy. It's really super simple. I'm going to break it down for you. I've bought a lot of cheap and shitty supplements in my time, so I know what ones are right, what's the best bang for your buck and everything. So let's get into it. First, most important supplement is going to be protein powder. And I want you to look at protein powder as like a ratio of calories to protein content. That is the most important thing. Look for a protein powder with under 200 calories per scoop. If it's over 200 calories, it's not even worth it. I don't give it a second look whatsoever. Protein content, make sure it provides at least 20 grams of protein per scoop. This is like the minimum amount you need. Also check serving sizes because one of my clients was using a vegetarian protein powder. He wasn't even vegetarian. And it was 25 grams of protein that said on the back and on the front. But he didn't realize that was for 2 scoops. He's like, well, that's a lot. I've only been doing 1 scoop. He was only getting 12, 13 grams of protein. So check the serving sizes. It's very important. A lot of people like muscle milk as well. But I was looking at it. It has like 160 calories and 25 grams of protein, which is not great compared to if we look up raw nutrition that had like 140 calories for the same amount of protein. So it's better, tastes better. It's always like a ratio. You got to keep looking, and obviously you want it to taste good as well, which is important. I like the Rise brand of protein. I have it linked right in here. They taste the best, super high in protein, the best value for the price all the time. They have like mint chocolate chip, peanut butter, lemon cake, cinnamon toast crunch. Like there's so many good flavors. It's a very good brand. Next most important supplement is pre-workout. If you feel like you need an extra boost during your workouts, you can totally use pre-workout. I recommend it. I honestly think it's like a requirement. So what pre-workouts are Most of them have high amounts of caffeine, which is, a boost for energy. But also there's other ingredients in there to give you a better pump, focus, energy in the gym, sort of nootropics. Going to be a lot better so you can train harder, focus, pay attention, and get more blood flow in, which will help build more muscle. The vitamins, this is the required list, there's a recommended list, and the optional list. If you're in the Jacked plan and you've already seen this module once, you're now in the phase where you need to buy all of these. But if this is your first time watching this module, you have no idea what I'm talking about, you just need to buy the required ones. So a multivitamin helps fill all the gaps in your diet, make sure you get all your essential nutrients to lose fat, build muscle, be healthy, have stable energy levels. And I've sourced all these for you for the best bang for your buck, best quality, best value. So I sourced that all here. They're mostly all Amazon links, so I made that easy for you. It's very important. Unless you're having like a ton of veggies and a ton of fruits and red meat and a bunch of organic, cage-free eggs and stuff like that all the time, every day, then I would say you don't need multivitamin. But like almost all of you are going to need it. I recommend all of you get it because that's okay that we don't have that stuff. That's why we have vitamins to cover that up. Omega-3 is a healthy fat that is found in fish, helps recovery a ton, good for your heart health, eye health. It's an essential. Creatine helps you get kind of that extra few reps. It lives inside your muscle mass and helps you push even harder than you would without it. Some people love creatine. They notice it drastic differences. They lose a ton of body fat, put on a bunch of muscle, and love it. Some people, it just works in the background. They've seen changes, but they don't actually feel it. There's kind of like two camps with that. For me, I'm more in the second one, but you'll see it for you if it specifically like really works for you, you really feel it and you love it. Either way, though, I would need you to supplement it 5 to 10 grams every single day, depending on how big you are. Magnesium is good for bone and muscle support, which obviously helps because we're trying to grow muscles. So important. Here's all my favorite protein powders. I sourced them all for you. The most value. They taste delicious because if you have a meal with protein powder in it, like want a protein shake or protein oats or any kind of recipe, if you buy a cheap protein powder, like I've done this myself. I bought protein powders that are $25, $30, and then used it once and been like, this is disgusting. Like it makes me want to puke. And then I feel bad because I'm like, I want to use this because I just spent $30 on this protein powder, this big tub, and I need to use it all, but it tastes horrible. So I might as well just not bought it at all and bought one that's like $5-10 more expensive to get a good tasting one with even better macros. So trust me, these all different, they range different. I think this one is $30. This one's probably like 40, 35, 45, whatever. Now other vitamins, D3, healthy muscle and nerve function. K2 improves bone density, reduces the risk of bone fractures, which is important because we're training hard in the gym. You don't want to injure yourself. Fiber helps keep you full. Probiotics help with your digestion, along with fiber as well, important. Pre-workout and caffeine-free pre-workout. I mentioned that later in one of the modules called the pre-workout guide. So you'll see more on that when we get there, and I'll recommend you my specific ones. But these are some good ones if you just want to get straight to it right away. Branch chain amino acids. So when you're burning, that acid buildup that like hurts, that like fiery feeling in your muscles, that's your amino acids going out. So this is replace those acids when you work out. So I drink this every single time I work out in a shake. So I have my pre-workout shake on my drive to the gym. When I'm in the gym, I drink my BCAAs and my creatine together. So when I'm training, my muscles are getting replenished by the creatine to push even harder. And that way there's less burning so that way I can push myself more, do more reps, do more weight, whatever, because that's how we progress. Now, optional, but unless you're in the Jacked plan, all three of these are natural testosterone boosters. Turkesterone increases your natural testosterone. It's from a plant. Only buy turkesterone from this source. I'm saying that because there's so many different sources on Amazon that are going to be extremely cheaper, like I'm talking half the price, but 98% of creatine of turkesterone on the market is from China, and it's a copycat fake plant that's way cheaper, not going to do anything whatsoever for you at all. This is the only brand that I fully trust. So buy that there. Tonka Ali is another one to boost energy and metabolism by balancing out your hormones. You can buy that here. That one's on Amazon, pretty cheap. DHEA helps regulate other hormones, including testosterone. So if you're over the age of 25, which I know most of you guys in here are, it's important to get every single ounce of testosterone you can get to just, one, feel better, but train harder, cut down body fat. So all of these, if this is definitely one of the most valuable modules in this entire program, like just based on experience, I've had different iterations of this specific module. Clients have came to me multiple times and said, dude, like I've came back and watched that one module about stress and sickness because like it's the most applicable. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, not all these things are going to apply to you in this moment. That's why it's important to watch this video now so you're aware of this stuff when it happens, but also come back to it when any of these three problems occur that we're going to get into right now. So Very first thing, which is the most important, which you're doing every single day, is getting sleep. You are. Sleep is literally like the speedway to progress. It helps muscle growth, helps fat loss, helps mental clarity, regulates your hormones, gives you higher testosterone. It's honestly more important than diet most of the days. Like, that's crazy to say, I know, but getting sleep is the most important thing. If you're getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep and you're like, oh, bro, I just can't sleep, we're going to fix that. Don't worry if you feel like you can't. But I want to emphasize how important it is to actually get good quality sleep every single night. So every single night, get 7.5 hours plus of sleep. 8 hours is good. 8.5 hours is good. If you're getting 9 or 10, you might have a problem, but maybe you need it. I don't know. We can talk about that on a one-on-one call. Most important thing is set a bedtime. Even if you have a work schedule that kind of goes all over the place, have a 70% of the time you can go to bed at blank. Maybe that's 10 p.m. Maybe it's 11:30. Maybe it's 7:30 p.m. You wake up real early in the morning. Whatever it is, have a set time that you actually know, okay, now it's time to go to bed. And before that, you're going to have a wind down time, which we're going to talk about right now. So I'm going to show it here on the screen. There's a shortcut you can do on your phone to make your phone a little more red on the screen. And what this does is it actually is better and easier on your eyes when you're going to bed. Now, I don't want you laying in bed on your phone before you go to sleep. That's obviously not good. I never want to recommend you to do that. But an hour before bed, you're probably going to be on your phone. And what I want you to do is have this automation turned on so that way you can just have your phone be a red light rather than blue light that's making will negatively affect your sleep hours from your bedtime. You know what I mean? Next thing is when you go to bed, make your room completely dark. Completely dark. I turn even my alarm light off. I unplug my outlet over here because there's a little green light on the extension cord or whatever. I turn everything off so it's pitch black in here. Make your room cold as well. That's very nice, very good thing to do. And then build a nightly routine. It could be as simple as like, okay, I wash my face and brush my teeth and then go to bed. Something as simple as that you do every single night. It just tells your body, okay, it's time to wind down. It's time to get ready for bed. I mentioned in the previous module a while ago about reading Outwitting the Devil. You can read a book before bed too. Like, I love to like turn this little warm light on, put the phone way far away and just read until I feel tired. I don't even have the like time on. It's dark. So I just don't know when I'm getting tired, but I fall asleep. And falling asleep reading a book is a lot better than falling asleep to a phone or a screen. You just sleep so much better. Next thing, if you're sick, it's going to happen. Trust me. Do not train. I say if you feel, say 1 out of 10. 10 is like you have Ebola, COVID, norovirus, whatever, like you're horrible. Obviously, you don't train. And 1 is like you're pretty much fine. You have a little bit a sniffle or whatever. If you're above a 6, do not train. If you're like a 5 out of 10 sickness, it's okay. You can do it. Take it a little light, but you can do it. 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10, you're fine. Go to the gym, still work out. But if you're above a 6, don't train. Stay home. It's not worth it. You might be, oh my God, I'm going to miss out on the games. I'm going to lose all my muscle. You're not going to. I promise you that. I promise you that. What you can do in your meantime, light walks. Keep your routine pretty light, pretty flexible. And I promise you, you can miss like up to a week's worth of workouts and have no effects. And even at that point, it would be like very, very slight, just not getting as much gains as you would if you miss more than 7 days. But only if you're sick. You know what I mean? I linked in the module below 2 things that are very important that have sped me up. If you're familiar with my story, you know that I had like a really bad case of mono for a few months back in 2021. My throat was so swollen. I had like huge like golf ball sized lymph nodes in my neck. And I couldn't speak because my throat was so swollen and my nose would get so congested. I would only be able to sleep for like 2 hours, sat up straight, and I would choke on my own snot and saliva. It's disgusting. So I'd wake up choking and gasping for air. I couldn't talk, so I could barely drink water or barely like eat food. So I'd like intentionally very much like use every muscle in my throat to get that food down. It was horrible. And I was only sleeping like an hour and a half every night because I just would wake up choking. It was horrible. What helped me the most was getting an IV from the hospital, obviously, but you don't need to do that all the time. Next best thing is Pedialyte. Liquid IV and those electrolyte mixes are fine, but Pedialyte is literally made for medical reasons. I've linked the one down below, which is the Advanced Care Plus, which like has speed ran my health, and I genuinely like equate that to why I was able to heal, because I would literally have like 2 or 3 of those a day, which is a lot, yeah, but like I just like doused myself in all of the electrolytes, all the minerals I needed to get better. If you do that, every time I get sick now, I have like 2 or 3 big things of Pedialyte, and like it's healed in an instant. So I definitely recommend it. If you've never tried it, I guarantee you it's like a miracle drug. It's insane. And obviously still eat as well, the best you can. I also think sugar-free cough drops. So you can easily add up a lot of calories if you're just sucking on cough drops all day because they have sugar in them. Surprise, surprise, they taste good. You're probably like, I love these cough drops. They taste amazing because they have sugar in them. The sugar-free ones aren't bad. I link some in there. There's some other ones you can do, different flavors as well. But that's what you do if you're sick. Now, one of the most important things, if not the most important, is stress. You might be like, dude, I barely get stressed. It's fine. Like, I just handle it out like a man. No. There's 3 steps I want to kind of walk you through when you get stressed because it can negatively affect your progress, literally. First thing is notice it. If you're giving yourself like negative self-talk more often than usual, that's a red flag. If you have a low mood most days, you don't really feel like doing much, you feel like kind of going through the motions, days are kind of blending in a negative way, that's another red flag. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like there's so much on your plate, that's quite literally stress. You've noticed it. Step 2, take a reset. Take a 10-minute walk or longer in nature. Literally, as long as you're near one tree, I say it counts. If you have like a cool spot or a hiking spot or nature area or garden near you, go chill out there. No phone, maybe some chill music or whatever, and relax. Be in that environment because I guarantee you it will de-stress you so much and be really, really good for you. And then ask yourself too, like, kind of zoom out and say, will this matter in a week? Like, what were the biggest challenges you've ever faced in your entire life? Maybe a divorce, a really bad breakup, super bad financial problems, bankruptcy, whatever you've experienced in life. Zoom out and say, how are these current problems compared to that? Oh, like I feel really bad right now, but like this is nothing compared to what I've been through before. Taking that perspective will actually help you a lot, especially if you do this during when you're in nature. Even think about it right now. That thought probably crossed your mind. You're like, holy shit, it's actually not a big deal. Third step, use your resources. Be resourcefulness. Be resourceful. Talk to a family or friend. Like most men, like I addressed in the earlier module way back, is most men are lonely. Like there's a statistic. Once you're over the age of 30, most men lose an average of 1 to 2 friends every single year, assuming that you even have friends, which is the sad truth and sad reality. So talk in the community. Reach out to some of the guys in there. Like even you can go one-on-one and be like, hey bro, like I appreciate you supporting me in the community. I just like really just need to talk about something right now. Just talk about your situation. Like it sounds so stupid. I know some of you are like rolling your eyes right now being like, bro, I don't want to do this. I don't need this. Like, but if you're stressed and overwhelmed, it will negatively affect you. And another thing too, like it'll feel so much better when you get this off your chest. Like having that relief is so important. So do that. Talk to someone in the real world too, as be friend. Like if you have a friend near you that you're somewhat close with, go out, take them out for food and just kind of talk to them about whatever. Get a second opinion on it. Because giving a second opinion on whatever situation helps so much. Like when I went through the worst breakup of my life, super toxic and abusive and all that, I hung out with friends more than I ever have in my entire life. Just because it was so good and such an escape and able to like talk to someone else about it instead of being in my own head after the breakup. Like I tried to break up with her once and it didn't go through. Then we tried again and it was horrible, even worse that time. So like I was going through it pretty much, it took a while, but talking to friends, expressing what happened and hearing like, yeah, that was crazy of her. Or like, oh, the things you're talking about feeling are valid. Like just getting a second opinion is so important. Like it can be a family member as well if you're close to your family. Another thing is like writing your thoughts on a paper, literally like just writing them out. I feel this way. Guess what? When you get over this current problem or stump that you have, you'll look back in like a month, 2 months, a couple of years from now, and look at that notebook or piece of paper that you wrote on. You're like, oh my God, bro, I was going through it back then. Like the old version of me had no idea what was going to happen. This amazing thing is going to happen. Oh, the move that he made, the money he made, like, oh, the new car he got. Oh my gosh, he went through this horrible breakup, but his future wife is right here. You know what I mean? Like you'll be able to look back and be like, wow, that's so cool. I documented that. You are in control. And I promise whatever you're going through right now, if you're going through a hard time, I promise you it passes. Everything goes through. The hardest obstacle you've ever had in your entire life, I can almost guarantee you that's not what this is right now. And there's going to be hard shit that happens in your life. There's going to be stuff that's way bigger and more difficult than your previous biggest obstacle. And that's just part of life. But it's about adapting to it, not through just sheer like, okay, I'm just tough it out, get through it. That's a part of it, yes. But like talking to people, getting it out will just speed up the process so much more and make you feel so much better. All right, so you're on vacation and you're thinking, Jake, what am I going to do? Am I going to skip on the gym? What am I going to do? I'm going to be gone for like a week. I'm going to be gone for 5 days. I'm going to be gone for 3 days. Oh my God, what am I going to do? This is what you're going to do. There's a couple different options. You have more options than you actually probably think. So there's 3 different kind of scenarios I want you to kind of play out in your head of what you could possibly do. There's most expensive, least expensive. Most expensive, which is the best thing. Well, I guess let's start with this. Best case possible, the hotel you're staying at has a decent gym in it Even if it only has dumbbells and a bench, which is very common, you have a workout plan for it. Underneath this module, I have a complete PDF on a 5-step workout that you can do with just simply dumbbells and a bench. You can do a lot with it. So that will be your workout. Just try to do that as many days as you normally have a workout scheduled already in the hotel and on your vacation or whatever. Next thing, if you don't have a gym in your hotel and you don't want to do the next option, which I'm going to talk about, you can do a bodyweight only travel workout where you just need your body, maybe something to kind of lean on here and there. But like besides that, it's just very simple, very easy to do. Even better, what I want you to do is like check if the gym you go to, say you go to Planet Fitness or an EOS or whatever, check if there's a location nearby that you can go to, because in most gyms, if they're like a commercial gym, they'll have other gyms in different states. Check them out. It might be a new location, something you've never seen before. It's really fun. Even more fun than that, though, which I really enjoy doing, and a lot of my clients have actually they didn't really think about it at first, but then they did it, they loved it, is go to a local gym, go to a cool area, especially if you're in like the Midwest or California or Texas, like Florida. There's some crazy, really cool gyms. Vegas. Check out a local gym, get like a day pass or 2 day passes. Usually they give you a discount if you do like multiple days of a day pass, and check it out. Because there'll be usually a lot of new machines you've never seen before, a different atmosphere that you didn't know you'd actually like. Like I love those gritty gyms and stuff, but I wouldn't have found that out if I didn't get a day pass at a different gym. I would have gone to a commercial gym my entire life. So find what works best for you. And when you're on vacation and you're like, having a good time, you know how to do your meals. There's the other module previously where I said how to eat out. Same thing applies for when you're on vacation. You can work out too. So don't use being on vacation as an excuse to get fat. A lot of guys do. Don't be a victim of that. What the fuck is a peak phase? I'm going to tell you. So this is where your body transforms. This is like the coolest part of the transformation, except for when we do stuff in later time. But this is honestly going to be the best you've ever looked. Like I can say that with 100% guaranteed confidence. It's the hardest phase. I'm not going to lie to you. But it's the most rewarding one because all of your hard work and progress is paying off right now. This is where you look in the mirror and you're going to see the craziest physique you've ever seen in yourself in your entire life. So a couple different steps I want to go over. Cardio, lifestyle, nutrition, training, and then 3D mindset. So first, I want to go over what the 3D mindset is. It stands for dream, discipline, and determination. So the dream, visualize your goal. You're going to need to get super locked in because it's going to require more motivation. So you have to get really dialed in on it. I know in the beginning of the program, we focused a lot on mindset and your growth mindset, and that was important. But now it's going to take a whole nother level of focus and dedication. But it's going to be so damn worth it. Trust me on this. So visualize your goal. It's the leanest, strongest version, most confident version of yourself. You've already achieved so much progress. You've already seen your physique level up a little bit. Now we're really going to shave all the body fat off and see all your hard work. And it's going to be so crazy. So actually visualize it. Next step is discipline. You're going to have lower calories. That means you're going to be more hungry. It's normal. And it's not going to be outrageous, but some days it's going to be hard. Some days you're going to want the shit. And we're going to work on that and have sort of refeeds and stuff in here, but it's normal. Just know that. If you feel like you're super hungry, you didn't do anything wrong, you're not ruining your body. It's a normal part of this process. Sleep 7 to 8 hours every single night is the bare minimum. Bare minimum, because your food is honestly being held back a little bit. You're still getting all your nutrients and macros. But sleep is one of the best ways to get energy because if you're tired, your body's going to want to compensate for that energy by consuming energy in a different way. It consumes energy through sleep and food. It's going to crave more food if you don't get enough sleep. So it's very important. Plus that regulates your hormones, helps you build muscle. We covered that before. It's very important. Next thing going along with that is taking your vitamins. Take all of the required vitamins, every single one of them, because it's going to cover all the micronutrients to make you feel not only full, but have mental clarity, be satisfied, and keep your testosterone up because it may go down if you don't take your vitamins or just eat bullshit food, whatever. Because you might have tried to diet before on some horrible diet foods and just like no whole foods whatsoever. You're going to feel awful. So we're not going to do that. Take all your vitamins. Next step is determination. So hit all of your workouts, all of your cardio, which I'll explain a little bit later right after this. Every single one of your workouts. It's not negotiable at this point. You've been doing this for so long. You know you can do it. Just stay up with it, and there's no way you can miss a single one. Next thing is the cardio. So after every single lift, or if you don't have the time, you can do it separately in the day, but you're doing it after every single workout, so at least 4 to 5 times a week. You can either do treadmill, stair stepper, or stationary bike for 30 to 40 minutes. I like to read a book. You can go on your phone. You can watch YouTube. You can do music. I don't recommend you just stand there and do it because you're probably going to get bored and tired and you're going to realize how much it hurts. So distract yourself. Treadmill, I'll leave it down in the module below. You can see the levels of incline and how fast I want you to go. And then every single day, take a 10-minute walk at least. It's for your mindset, to keep your head straight. Make sure you're staying positive, thinking about your wins, thinking about your progress, thinking about everything you're doing, just reflecting on your life, because things can seem a lot more dramatic than they are when you're dieting, which you don't need to be doing that. Doing a little walk will burn more calories, clear up your mind. Next thing is your peak nutrition. You're going to have 4 to 6 meals per day. They are definitely smaller meals, but the reason you're doing this is to feel more full throughout your day. So multiple meals per day. We're going to add greens as well, so vegetables for volume, because like spinach, celery, broccoli, all that stuff is super, super low in calories, like under 100 calories for a serving, and it's going to keep you full. Because think about the size of it compared to like a size of 2 scoops of ice cream that are 500 calories compared to 500 calories of broccoli. Holy shit. 500 calories of spinach. Dude, that's probably as big as this bed behind me. You know what I mean? Also, 3 to 4 liters of water daily. You don't need to track that necessarily, but have a ton. Carry a water bottle with you everywhere you go. I still do that to this day. Carry around a water bottle you fill out throughout the day. Next thing is tracking your progress. Log every single workout with no exceptions. If you're not logging a workout, I think you're skipping it, and I feel like you're slacking, and you're not going to make it to 10% body fat. That's just the truth of it. You need to track everything so you can make sure you're staying on top of it, and I can give you feedback so that we can get through this peak phase as quick as possible and get you to absolutely shredded, you know. Also, keep increasing the weight on your workouts and every single week when possible on any exercise you can. Now, action steps I want you to take right now. Log in your sleep schedule. Go rewatch the sleep video if it's been a while. Refresh on that because it's very important to have that wind down process. Your phone should be turning red an hour before you go to bed every single night. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you didn't watch the module, go back and watch it. Plan your workouts in your calendar if they're not already, which they should be in the calendar module. Every single week, make sure you have that scheduled on a routine in the Google Calendar so it populates every single week so you know exactly what time you're going to the gym so you don't miss it no matter what. And the cardio is key. Never, ever skip it. What is your body fat percentage? Most guys don't know their body fat percentage, and that's totally accurate because it's something that's kind of very abstract. You might have a general idea of what you want and where you feel like you are, but there's going to be an image below in the module I want you to check out. And the goal at the peak phase is to get to 10 to 12% body fat. You can do it. Now look at the photo for reference. I want to go over some simple markers because when you're doing your weekly check-ins, I want you to kind of be self-assessing in your head. Where do you feel like you're at? How close do you feel like you are to your goal of 10% body fat? So simple rundown, 25% body fat. You don't have abs. You have a round stomach. You have fat in your chest, love handles, pretty much everywhere. 20% body fat is more of that soft look where you have like some development in your arms, maybe a little bit in your chest, but the belly fat is obviously like very much still there and prominent. 15%, your abs show when you're flexing really hard, but they're not when you're relaxed. Your waist is a little bit leaner, a little bit less love handles, but your muscles are more defined as well. Like when you're working out, you might see striations and movement and stuff, which is pretty cool, but you're not quite there. When you're at 10%, your abs are visible even when you're resting. When you're just sitting down, standing up, you can see lines of abs. Your V-taper is showing. You can clearly see a defined V-taper. You have that lean, toned, athletic look. That is 10% body fat. Now, if you want to go lower, which is so awesome, I recommend you do. It's a little hard to get there, but I guarantee you can do it. 8% body fat. You're shredded. You're almost to bodybuilding level, stage ready. I'm going to be honest. 90% of you guys, 90% of you are not going to get to 8% body fat. Take that as a challenge or take that as just a factual piece of evidence. You're probably not going to get to 8% body fat. Hopefully I challenge you to try to do that. But that's when you're like shredded. You have deep muscle cuts. You can clearly see things defined. You have some veins popping out. You might be thinking now, like, I don't want that kind of look. That's a little too much. You're going to want it when you see it. It's pretty sick. But look at your check-in photos every single week. Compare to this chart. See where you're at and keep a mental note of your progress each week so you can know how close you are to getting to 10%. You have officially made it, my friend, to the jacked plan. This is huge. Like, you made it past the peak phase. You got all those crazy photos. You've seen yourself actually shredded. Like, it's crazy. And guess what? We're only going up from here. That's honestly it. So, jacked is actually an acronym. You'll see in the module below. It's the journey to advanced conditioning, knowledge, and elevating your discipline even further, which is very important stuff. It's actually so sick. So if you think about all the levels you've gone through as like leveling up in a video game, if you ever played Call of Duty or any sort of kind of game, once you hit the maximum level, which is like 55 or whatever, you can what's called prestige and reset back to level 1. but you have a new different icon or a different kind of like skills that you've acquired because you've already leveled up all the way once. That's how this works. So we're going to keep going through this process, but with a different lens, different kind of goal in mind. So now we're putting on muscle so much. We're not so worried about, okay, cutting down as much fat as possible. We're more focused on putting on muscle and maintaining a lean body fat percentage. So this is where a lot of guys fall into the danger zone and they start bulking. They think, okay, I need to eat big to get big now because I need to put on a lot of muscle. And guess what? You might end up 3 months later, 60 pounds overweight, have a little more muscle, but you're fat and you can't see any of your muscle for shit. You don't want that. Trust me, I've been there. So we're not going to bulk. Most bulking, you put on way more body fat than you do muscle. And the problem with that is, even though it's like a bulkier look, which some people like, you're not going to like it eventually. I promise you that. When it's time to cut down, if you have a lot more body fat than muscle, chances are you're going to lose some of that muscle mass, especially if you don't lose it super, super, super slowly, which we don't really want to do that again, right? You've done that process before. So what we're going to do is keep the fat gain to a minimal amount while maximizing the amount of muscle that we can put on, therefore increasing your metabolism, making you look better, all that good stuff. So that way you can look good year round, have better energy, have better health markers too, because you're not getting obese, because that, negatively affects your health. What we're going to do, we're going to work together one-to-one to increase your calories, 200 to 300 calories over your maintenance. So that way you're getting lean growth, and it's not going to be crazy over the top. You're not going to gain a bunch of body fat. You're not going to have a belly. That's irresponsible. If you're gaining more than 0.25 to half a pound per week, you're doing something wrong. We'll talk about that a little later though. Second thing is protein. You're going to have 1 to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight split across like 4 to 6 meals. So still the meal frequency is as much as the peak phase, but calories are a lot higher. You're not in a severe deficit anymore. Now the food quality is very important too, because a lot of people have tried dirty bulking. I've done it myself. Horrible, horrible, horrible. You're going to have 70% quality whole foods, 30% of the fun foods. That's like some of the junk or whatever if you want it, but it's 70-30 split, so you're fine with that. The going out to eat thing still applies, but whole foods, you want to focus on lean meats, clean carbs, healthy fats, greens, stuff you're very used to at this point, but like organic peanut butter for fats, avocado for fats, avocado oil for fats, carbs, rice, oats, whole grain toast, whatever, stuff like that. Lean meats, chicken, ground turkey, 93.7 beef, all that kind of stuff, greens, that stuff's going to be the majority of the diet. Pre-post workout is exactly the same. You're going to have carbs before, protein before, after protein, carbs. You can actually increase a little bit more because you have more calories to kind of play and mess around with. So you can add a little bit more carbs, which are going to give you an even better pump, make you grow even further in the gym, which is very important. Supplements. You're going to use everything in the supplement guide. Everything on there. I want you to order everything because you're going to want to maximize your growth, because now is the time to grow, baby. You're going to put on all that muscle, and the vitamins are only going to help get you there even sooner because you're already maximizing everything else. So why not maximize all of our growth? So the way to stay lean while growing, like I said, we want to gain 0.25 to half a pound per week. We're going to monitor this. There's a little bit of water fluctuation, which we have to take into consideration. But if you're going up further than this, we're going to say, okay, we need to drop the calories back down. If you're not gaining quite this much, then we say, okay, we need to increase the calories a little bit more. But we're going to work really closely on this because it's a lot more specific now. Now that you've kind of cleared the first level all the way through, now you're going to go through it again. Track your weight, track your lifts, obviously, as you've been doing. Keep that up. It's very important because you'll honestly be able to have a lot more strength now that you have a little bit more muscle mass on you, a little more fluff in a way. Not fat, but like a little more size to you. You'll be able to lift a lot more. Stick to the plan because the consistency always wins. This is going to be a very, very fun part. If you thought the first peak phase was fun, bro, just wait for the second one.